All right, and welcome back to another episode of EssendZOOM Royals, where I'm joined by senior player Graham Kelly. Welcome, Graham.
Hey Matt, how's things? Good to be here.
Yeah, good to hear from you. So tell us a bit about how COVID's been for you, mate. How you been coping in isolation?
To be honest, not too bad. It's obviously restricted some ways and going out and stuff, but my girlfriend's still working and I'm still working, so it hasn't been the worst. Obviously, people are a lot worse off, and we have a puppy as well, so we have our hands full with him, getting him out for walks after him. So hasn't been too bad.
And you said that you've moved during this time as well. What was that like?
Yeah, that was a bit hectic, but we moved everything ourselves, all the furniture. It took us 2-3 days. But luckily enough, we only moved down the road, so it wasn't too bad. But in a much nicer place now, a better place. So.
That's good. And you've been training at home. I know Juan Toro's been keeping you boys busy with some pretty heavy training schedules online. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah. Obviously, Toro, he loves it. It's been good to get back kind of a little bit of interaction with the boys. Because obviously you do miss that part of it, the training, just little things, little conversations. But the sessions have been good, full on, of course, as you'd think with Toro.
Yeah, and you post all your Strava runs online as well, so you've been keeping the Ks in the legs.
Yeah, trying to do a bit. Trying to bring my dog out for runs, but he's having none of it. So just go by myself and just to keep the legs ticking over and trying to keep a bit of fitness, because we obviously pre-season went really well, so you don't want to lose any of that fitness you've built up.
Yeah, obviously disappointing that I guess the year's panned out as it has, because like you say, pre-season was looking pretty good there. How did you rate the pre-season games that you played in, and obviously the FFA Cup win over Bunyip?
Yeah, well, pre-season's been fantastic. There's been a lot of hard work put into it. Like comparing it to pre-seasons I've done before back home in Ireland, it's probably one of the hardest pre-seasons I've done. There's a lot of we went to Maribyrnong Park, a lot of hill runs, a lot of sprints. The boys are really fit, and then you could see that in the games. You were playing well, playing good football, so it was coming together nicely, and it looked like it was going to be a positive season, which is, it's obviously unfortunate what happened, but I suppose what can you do?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and obviously a very different team this year to last year. So what have you made of some of the new boys that have come in? Anyone that's really stood out?
Yeah, some of the lads are fantastic. Obviously, other Irish lad, I was obviously mentioned him first, Darren McCauley.
Yeah.
Great player. But yeah, a couple of other boys, just to be fair, all of them have been really good. Been really impressed. A lot of quality in the team.
And what about the new coach, Vital? Have you enjoyed working under him?
Yeah, it's been great, to be fair. I get on very well. Really good coach, good man management. I think we've built a good kind of atmosphere in the group, and it is coming along nicely. And obviously, I'll say again, it's just unfortunate what happened, but hopefully now we can get back into some sort of training and kickstart things again.
So obviously, last season was your first in Australia. What did you make of the quality of State League One, and was it different to what you were sort of expecting it to be, or did you come in with a fair idea of what you were getting into?
Yeah, well, I kind of had a decent grasp of what it would be like, because a friend of mine, Ryan McAvoy, he was here with Essendon Royals the previous year, so he kind of told me what it was about and kind of what the standard is and how it goes. But I was impressed. Like, it was decent standard. It's obviously different. I went from full-time football to training 2 nights a week and then a game on a Saturday. Yeah. Which actually I think I prefer. I like that transition. It's you can have a good balance in your life where it's not mainly focused on football. Yeah. So I do enjoy that. I've been impressed with the standard. I think this year it's going to go up again. So yeah, it's been really good.
And you mentioned obviously Ryan. So was that the connection that got you across? Were you looking to come out to Australia anyway, or how did that sort of work out?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of making a move to Australia, and I hadn't got any links or kind of contacts. And then obviously I played with Ryan back home for a couple of teams. We played for a good few years with each other. Spoke with him, met up with him, and obviously he recommended Essendon Royals, and then he put me on to Siege, and then I went from there. I spoke to Siege through Instagram, messaged him back and forth, and then obviously I moved to Melbourne, and then met up with him here and kind of signed for Essendon Royals last year.
Fantastic. And I mean, if we talk a little bit about your football career back home, so tell us a little bit about how it all started. So where in Ireland are you from originally?
I'm from Dublin,
okay.
Rathfarnham, South Dublin.
Yeah. And you started playing locally there, because I know you played some youth football with Derby in England. So how did it start and how'd you end up there?
Yeah, I was playing just for a couple of the top teams in the DDSL, that's the top league in Dublin. And then I was scouted by a few English teams and ended up going off to Derby County, and I liked that over there. Signed with them and played in England for 3.5 years with Derby, just kind of in the youth setup, under 16s, under 18s, reserves. Signed a professional contract, but it didn't quite work out in England. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, a bit homesick. Loads of different kind of things went into it. So I moved back home then after that. But great experience. It's full time. I think Derby at the time were in the Premiership, so they were a good team.
And so you moved back home initially on loan with Bray Wanderers, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And then permanent. So I mean, tell us a little bit about top flight football in Ireland. So training like full time, professional, that sort of setup.
Yeah, majority of the teams in the league are full time, and then you get some teams that are part time. When I was with Bray, it was only part time. Then I moved on to full time football. But yeah, it's a really good standard. It doesn't get the credit it probably deserves, because England is right beside us, and they have obviously the Premiership, Championship, and it's a higher quality of football. But it is a decent standard of football. It was a good time playing there. I had
So you mentioned obviously your new Irish teammate Darren McCauley, but your paths never really quite crossed in Ireland, if what I looked at was right.
Yeah, he played. I think he played in the Northern Irish League. I played in the South Ireland League. So, and then when he joined the Electricity League, I just left. That was the year I left to go to Melbourne. Move here to Melbourne.
Yeah. Okay. And obviously in your time at St. Pat's, I think did you play some Europa League ties?
Yeah, we played I think 5 or 6 Europa League ties against Dynamo Minsk. Yeah. Team from Luxembourg. So obviously it was a really great experience. It was like the Dynamo Minsk team were top quality players, full time, big stadium. It was it's kind of one moment that I look back on, I will cherish.
And I mean, what was the atmosphere like in those sort of games?
Yeah, well, it was kind of like only qualifier games, so there wasn't a massive crowd. But obviously, when we came back home to our ground, it was a massive crowd and all sorts of flares, everything. 4,000 or 5,000 fans in the stadium. Yeah, really a brilliant atmosphere as it was.
And then obviously moving out to Australia, what have you liked the most? Obviously, football aside, what have you liked the most about moving out here?
I suppose the lifestyle. It's a great lifestyle. Summertime here is brilliant. The weather is similar to back home. It does get cold as well. It's getting pretty cold at the moment.
Yeah.
So freezing going to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lifestyle, everything it's a better quality of life, I'd probably say, than to back home.
Yeah. And obviously you're still speaking to the family and stuff back home. How's the COVID stuff been back there?
Yeah, it's a lot worse than it is here in Victoria. A lot more restrictions, but like my family themselves haven't really met up with each other. They've kind of been staying in their own houses and haven't been able to meet up. And only till last couple of weeks, they kind of have loosened up a bit. But yeah, in contact. It's just that the time difference is difficult because obviously I think it's 9 hours behind. So last Sunday morning, we actually get up at 7 a.m. to do a quiz with them on a Zoom quiz. But it was good to see everybody. But it is kind of difficult to keep in contact too much.
Yeah, and I guess it's sort of been similar here. I know you've been working. So you were saying you work actually with the club president, Richard.
Yeah, working for him, doing tiling. Yeah. It's good, yeah. He's
what's he like as a boss? Is he a hard worker?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, he's a hard worker. Yeah, he's fair. Obviously, he appreciates you putting in hard work, good effort. So we get on well. I like Richard. I like him a lot.
Yeah, that's good. You have to say that because he's the president.
Have to say that though.
And obviously, yeah,
make sure he sees this.
Yeah, of course. No, he'll be the first to get it.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're looking like we're getting slowly closer to a return to training. So, what are you looking forward to most about getting back on the park?
Just just meeting up with the lads. It's just the banter, just little things, bit of banter, a little bit just communication. Yeah, I'll probably miss that most. Obviously, football is great. I love football, but it's just different. It's hard to explain. It's great to be around. It's a good buzz.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Who's got the best banter in the team?
I don't know. Maybe Wardy. Wardy might.
Yeah.
Thinks he has a bit about him.
Yeah. I thought you might say Atze.
Atze, yeah, of course. Atze, yeah. I was talking about players, but if you're talking about coaching staff, Atze, hands down. Loves a moan and a whinge.
Yeah. And who's got the worst?
Probably me. I don't think some of the Australian lads can't understand me, so my banter just flies over the head.
Fair enough. Best trainer?
Best trainer. I'd probably put Darren McCauley maybe down for that. But yeah, he's tough. He's always on the go. He's always flat out.
Yeah. I won't ask you to name a worse one. I won't get you to throw someone under the bus.
Worst trainer? I wouldn't do it. I couldn't. I'd say myself.
Yourself. Well, you can always say yourself, I guess. All right. Anything else that's sort of standing out ahead of return to football? Hopefully, return to competition.
Yeah, I'm just obviously hoping everything goes well and kind of the restrictions it goes well. It pans out the way they're planning, and I don't know how long down the road they're looking at starting the season back up. But yeah, hopefully his training goes okay and the outbreaks are minimised and we can get back to start the season and see how we get on. And yeah, just looking forward to that. Just looking forward to the first game when and if it comes.
Beautiful, mate. Well, thanks for jumping on and giving us a bit of your time.
Yeah, no problem. It's been great. Good to see you.